Welcome in, everybody. My name is Lady Alyssa, and we're going to be starting on the Stanley Parable today. I think we'll be able to get through with it in one video. I may chop it up into two, but I'm not sure. I'm also not sure when the game actually starts, so I wanted to go ahead and start up the video here. I've never played the Stanley Parable before. I don't really know what it's about. I think you start off in some kind of like office setting, but other than that, I have no idea. Please adjust the slider until the computer is barely visible. That seems really dark. I can still see the computer. I'm just gonna... We're gonna go like 1/3. I feel like that's comfortable. Why does that matter? Why does that matter at all? It is 3. Ugh. It is 3:37 p.m. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. I don't think I need any accessibility settings. Oh, no. That's kind of cool. Okay. Also, I just wanted to let everybody know that I do have my roommate slash best friend here in the background. So if you hear an additional voice as a whisper or something, that may be her suggesting something to me or telling me that I'm a moron, because she really wanted to see this game played. So we're just gonna jump in. Is never the end. Is never the end. The end is never the end.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Okay.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Oh, am I, okay. Can I crouch? I can crouch. Partition, okay. 427, by the way, is like you might as well just say I'm employee 13. And that's a curse number right there. Okay. I guess I'm just gonna leave the office. Everything looks really dirty. 429. What is that? Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Huh. Plenty of coffee cups sitting around. What does that say? I like work. I just hate my boss. That's a coffee cup to have at work for sure. That's pretty. Oh, well, that's fake lighting. Okay. Uh-huh. Why does this person get a secondary door? I hate Mondays. Oh, okay. What's on the board? Oh, it doesn't look like we're doing so good. Oof.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I really don't like being told what to do. I'm just gonna, just for the sake of it, I'm just gonna go on the left. Like it told me to.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Complete today's unfinished agenda items. Right next day agendas. Briefly. Get Chris out of the broom closet? I have absolutely no idea what's going on. Huh? Okay. This is how I exactly feel when I was going to school and the teacher put a slide up with a bunch of like charts or graphs, and that is exactly what it's supposed to look like. And you're just like, I think I'm supposed to understand what they're saying to me right now. I can open the broom closet?
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
That means there's something here, right?
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here. It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
I should be able to interact with these tools.
Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
There should be something I can do here. I should be able to do something. Okay, I'm just gonna leave.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh, scary red light. Can I interact with that in any way? Can I, like, is there any way for me to, like, zoom in on something? Probably not. Okay.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations.
Why am I in the same
For
place?
example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. "I'm dreaming!" he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid.
I thought you said he liked his
He
job.
imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life.
My brain hurts.
Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
I don't think I'm in my bed at home.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Oh. I'm so confused.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
What?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
What? Am I Stanley again?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
No.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh no. Oh my gosh. You're kidding me right now. Oh my gosh, let me out of here.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Definitely going on the right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Anybody? Anybody? $4.50. Let me in.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
For sure. This is like one of the worst employee lounges I've ever seen.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
It's worth it to me, in my heart. I kind of want
At
to...
this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
No. Alright, open the blinds. There's
Stanley
not
sat around waiting for more dialogue, but when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
Okay, I guess.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
Why can't I interact?
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
I need a key card. Key card. Key card. Do not jump from the cargo lift while it is in motion. Will cause death. Can I just fall?
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
I should probably go through the at some point what they actually tell me to do. I'm sure that I'm...
Now listen
missing some
carefully,
good
this is
content.
important. Stanley walked through the red door.
I need a key card. I'm gonna walk through the red door.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time?
No,
The
that
problem is
doesn't
all
prove
these
anything.
choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think Well, I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
You know, I've been really wanting to go in this door every time I pass it, but...
What do we want? What are we looking for?
I don't know. This is so creepy.
Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy.
What do I care about
I
your
actually
happiness?
feel happy.
I want to be happy.
No, wait. Where are you going?
That's cute.
Oh, no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
I'm not
Please,
gonna
no, Stanley,
die.
let me stay here. Don't take this from me.
Oh.
Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing.
It's just literal suicide.
No! Oh, thank God. You lived. You had me worried there for a moment. No. No, what are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this?
I want to do a backflip. I wish I could do some cool move.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me?
Ooh, I'm walking a little
My
slower.
God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
No, not at all. I just think it's funny. And I can't look at this. It's like when I get a shot or something. I'm totally fine, but I can't watch it.
Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours.
Thanks. Because I do kind of want to reset so that way I can do what you actually tell me to do. I still need to see if my boss will ever show up.
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it?
Yes.
I'm going back.
It's going to be okay. You're going to be alright. We're going to go back to the beginning and we're actually going to do what we're supposed to.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Do.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yes. Yes, I did.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Nobody here.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Alright, boss. Oh, wait.
Oh, no. Oh, no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
I wonder if I wait long enough if you actually will say something else. I feel like I should be able to interact with stuff in here. Well, I feel like I should be able to. I haven't found anything besides doors that I can interact with yet. Can I, like, punch a hole in the wall with this wrench? Oh, alright.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Eileen, I'm here to talk to the boss. Oh. Why is there a gun being held to that panda's head? What is this? I'm so confused. I've got the feeling money's for stealing, but not yours, of course. That's a lovely purse. Okay. They have a really cush looking bathroom, y'all. Okay. No? Okay. I'm assuming that's the actual office. Business strategy? Shoot the panda? Let me go check the boss's office first.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
I'm assuming that's what I was supposed to do. Okay. Scary elevator, I guess. Oh, I don't like this. Dark. Okay. I am so confused. Was that... Wait.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Oh, okay.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
No, I'm good. Let's do some mind control. Or have mind control done to us.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Really bothers me that there's like just a couple hanging up on the top. That's really disturbing. Uh-huh.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Wait, I'm 427? That's my office. The scarier part is that I don't see literally anyone here.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Why do I feel like the numbers of the fired people will be important? I missed what number they were. And there's a couple of like weird screens, so like 104 and like 601 are fired. Oh, it's just weird.
No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Yes.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Let's wreck it. I guess there's nothing in here that will do that. 5. Huh.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
But like, how did I just wake up one day and go like, yeah, you know what? Done with this. Did I save everyone? All 601 something employees?
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
No.
Yes. He had won.
It's never over.
He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him.
It does look really pretty.
This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Well, that's good. So, by following the directions, I find happiness? Oh, beat the game. I got the beat the game achievement and get your first achievement. So is this just like a vicious cycle that continues, like, going and going? I want to know what happens if
All
I
of his
do.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I want to do everything, like, opposite.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Right?
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow. Yes, this room. What a beautiful room. What a gorgeous, gorgeous room. Thank goodness Stanley had taken this detour on his way to the meeting room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I was like, am I supposed
Stanley
to...
was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not.
I think I've already done
I realize that
this,
investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
For who?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Who? Who? No, I'm starting to sound like an owl, but like... Are you talking about my wife?
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone. As Stanley picked up the phone, a white light engulfed him, filling him not just with radiance, but with hope. Hope for a life reunited one... Wait. Oh, goodness. Stanley, did you just unplug the phone? No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person.
Hee.
I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world.
What?
Please observe this helpful instructional video.
What?
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person.
No
But
kidding.
if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous.
Yeah.
For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice. He could invent a machine that eliminates food shortages across the world to make life better for all people. Or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack." Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day.
8
Do you make
choices.
more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Okay.
Welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
No, I think I'll stay. Can I answer the phone now? Oh, it's like halfway on the wall. I want to drive a forklift. I bet if I could drive this forklift, if it wasn't like halfway stuck on the wall, I could then lift all of these off properly. And then it wouldn't be an issue anymore. Okay, where are we going? What's going on? What am I doing?
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story.
Well...
That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
Let me out. Let me out. I should be able to open that door. Are we taking... Is he taking me all the way back to the beginning? Oh.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world.
I don't know. I don't feel like it. Don't feel like it.
Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
I don't want to go through the correct door. No. I don't want to. Ooh, that looks great. Don't make me do it, narrator. No, no. I don't think he's going to see anything else. I think I have to at this point. Okay, fine. I'll just go. Lame.
Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I
want to go through that exit.
I have to.
Oh, not good, not good. Ooh. I think I broke some stuff. Yeah, this looks really good.
Oh, I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You, who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child.
I could be. I'm not.
My story.
I could be fine.
If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make... behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. What? I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
So if I go on the one on the right, because it kind of feels like it just reset me back right here. So if I go through the door on the right again, is it just going to re-loop me back through?
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Something tells me he's going to get really mad at me. Not even any words. Nothing to say. Wow, that filing cabinet is...
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine.
Now I have to go on the right or the left, correct.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Just
one more time. Just one more. Do these numbers mean anything? Probably not.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would.
Okay.
That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. Yes. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I did it. There you go. It like kicked me all the way back to the beginning.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Hoping him coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I kind of wanted to go through the elevator this time. What? Oh, it's different. This doesn't... Oh... No, I wanted to go in the elevator. Oh, there's stairs here now.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
It's different.
Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code. Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
Am I supposed to say this? There's no way I'm supposed to say it, right?
I'm sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise, we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
No kidding. I'm not supposed to say it.
Okay, fine. You're not going to do it. But you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. You...
Oh, I think
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
What?
Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice. I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to me? Can you hear me? Is everything all right? Stanley, this is important.
How did I just get credits rolled?
The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please.
Oh my
Choose.
gosh.
Do something. Anything. This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me?
I
Are you there?
absolutely love this concept.
Stanley, are you there?
It makes me feel like, what was that movie that had a narration
You need time to decide.
with, like, wasn't it Will
Time to
Ferrell?
Make sure your choice is correct. That is the best
What movie is
choice.
that?
That's all right.
Stranger
I'll
Than
wait
Fiction?
for you to decide
Stranger Than
what's
Fiction?
the right
I think
thing
I've only
to
seen that
do.
movie one time, but
Take as much time as you need.
it gives me that, like, same feeling. That's so crazy. And then I'm back in the office. Oh my gosh. I feel like there's a couple of other options. Like, even though it rolled
Already
credits,
this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life.
my roommate just showed me that apparently the new, is it on Apple TV? The new show that has like an office setting took inspiration from the Stanley Parable, which I could totally see. Huh? Called Severance, apparently. I could totally understand that. I've seen most of the first season with her, so that makes sense. This is so crazy. I feel like there's other choices.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. What was it about this room that called, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
I don't think I've actually done this yet.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track. But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left.
Let me in.
Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake.
Ugh, rude.
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's
so
clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Got him all in a fluster.
Now, let's see, we went down right, left, down, left, right? Yep. Okay. Yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Oh. Ooh. This doesn't look good.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, Who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
I feel...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
It's kind of great because I almost feel like the narrator is like right there.
When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere or...
No.
Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story.
Yeah.
It was right here just a minute ago.
Uh-huh.
I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Oh. Well, I rather enjoy this. Thank you. What does it look like? Oh, that looks like the back room straight up. We know where that goes. That's interesting. That's the same place. So if I take to the right, then I'll go the same. Potentially the same over here as well. Oof. Okay, roommate, you pick. Left.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Oh, come on. I was just now walking around. But
all of his co-workers were gone.
I feel like the narrator is like right here
Stanley
with me,
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
And like hating me for doing these things. So it makes it feel all that more like rewarding.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Yes. Absolutely. No? Okay. Is it this way? No. Is that a missing persons report? 423, what are you doing on your time?
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait, never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Ooh. Oh, this does not look good.
Now well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all.
Yeah, me either.
Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job.
Thanks.
Oh, no, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win.
Hey.
Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations.
I put in plenty of work.
I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart. All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Oh, absolutely. 100%. What's in this office? This guy's playing solitaire. He's not even working. All right. And he gets paid the same as me. And he's not doing anything. All right. I want to go on strike. That's not fair. Actually, he has like a really nice office. He probably gets paid more than I do.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Ooh. Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay.
Yes.
Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office, in fact, the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that.
Me either.
You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Mr. Narrator, are you okay? Do you need a vacation? Have I broken you? Oh my gosh. It's a little much. Maybe some like lo-fi or something. I'm gonna follow this line exactly. Oh, jeez. What? Okay, alright. That's kind of true.
Cut the music.
Yes,
Go back
please.
and look at that fern.
What?
Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Oh, okay.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Okay.
Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart. You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious.
Yeah.
Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable.
Yes.
Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Yes. Give it to me.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
Yes. Let's do it. Let's break down all the walls. I want to see the skeletons of this place.
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
But he wants to be involved. He wants to be part of the story. Oof. Yeah, okay. My story is a little boring so far.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just
Okay.
walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that
no.
each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So
brain
starting
hurts.
from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic.
What?
Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
I'm just gonna say okay, and we're gonna do it. That's the other door.
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall.
Uh-huh.
Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't
Good.
do it. I won't do it. I won't do it.
Good on you, narrator.
And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle?
Maybe.
The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen?
I don't know.
So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree?
I would.
I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
Oh, did it just restart? Did. Totally. I feel like there should be stuff in my office, but I guess not.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Huh. Oh.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
I wanna. No? Oh, okay. Guess I'm going this way. Is that door closed yet? Can I walk past it? No? Okay, great. Ooh, here we go. I don't know what this is. It's great. I wish I could end up in something like this from my job sometime.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
This is kind of great.
Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Have I not been playing the Deluxe?
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
We're not moving.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
Let's do this. I'm so ready, narrator. Come on. You and me, conquer the world, man.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if the... Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
The jump circle.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
This is new content, the jump circle. I have been, yeah, my roommate's right, I have been trying to jump almost this whole time.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
It won't let me jump anymore? It says I got an achievement for you can't jump. That's so lame.
Goodness, another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And if... Oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
I want to jump.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always.
Let's do it.
What do you say, friend?
Yes. Is there a button I need to push? No, okay, great. Oh. Can I jump? I cannot jump. I'm immeasurably disappointed. Okay. This is different. Did I have to unlock the Deluxe within the game? Or was it just like, oh, you hit...
Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
What's up, narrator? Did he just restart it? No? Ooh.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past, and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
Whoa.
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013 when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Collector's Edition. 2014 Independent Game Festival. I don't think that's what you meant it to be. Oh, I still is there an ending where I can look at the back of myself? I don't think I've seen that one. Let's begin again. I definitely think there's some of these I did not achieve. Is this another like web page? It is. That's hilarious. Smile because it happened. The Stanley Parable. A trip down memory lane. A dollar. Don't play for 5 years. It's impossible to get this achievement. New video game, realistic today. Stanley Parable deals tough choices. Oh, yep, I've seen that one. Aww, in loving memory of little Stanley. Poor little, I think it's a hamster. He looks really cute.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Husk. Guess I can't go to maintenance. Top 10 memories. Oh. Oh, that's a great Matrix reference. A tie.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
I mean...
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
I don't know. Let's find out. Ooh. 2.9 hours.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Oh, yeah. This is great. The only thing that would make this better is if I could drive one of the forklifts.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered. What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
I don't want a skip button. I like your commentary. You make the game what it is. Without the commentary, the Stanley Parable wouldn't be the same.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have... Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound... Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their Steam review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place.
I don't either.
I guess I should become better educated on exactly how Steam works.
Probably would.
Perhaps that would have been the smart thing. Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye to it and just... Wait. How do we get out of here? Where did the door go? Wasn't there a door that led into this room?
Yes.
I do feel quite certain that there was one here before. How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I don't think one can enter a room without a door of some sort, or a window or something like that. Do you see a window anywhere? A porthole?
No.
A sufficiently large crack in the wall? No. I'll take any of these. All I want is for us to move on and to please step away from the skip. Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times, and there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button. Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing.
Uh-huh.
Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close. Because I know you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening. I needed there to be a vessel through which my words were moving. It was the vessel I needed, Stanley. Not the outcomes, not the story. None of that matters anymore. I'll give it all up. I'll give up every branching path. I'll burn my story to the ground. One single thing I need, and God, I can see now that I need it more than anything, is to know that someone else is taking it in. These words that I'm saying.
I wonder if it actually goes on that long. I'm sure they didn't have this person talking for 12
it's
hours.
you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin.
Narrator? 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 Oh no. Oh, get me out of here. I can't stand that.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability, it's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world, as though there were no consequences.
Bro, I can't. You need to calm down. No.
The end is never the end, 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 is never.
I think he's losing his mind, guys. Maybe he's lost his mind. Narrator? Hello? Ooh. I think we're skipping a lot of time here. Hey, the sun. That's kind of nice. there a way out yet? There is not. Oh, that's nice. That's kind of pretty. Narrator? Narrator? Hello? Can't you see the sun? Oh. And piles of decay. Narrator? Oh. That's creepy. I guess the button's not gonna come back. I feel like I've shipwrecked in the middle of the ocean, but it's the desert and it's a building. You know what I mean? Like everything has fallen apart around me. I don't even know where to begin. Does a skip button work again? No. Does not. What? Is the narrator gonna be here? Oh.
All of his co-workers were... Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it? Is this Stanley's office?
New content. Can I unplug this? No.
Oh, good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Let's do it. I'm so pumped. I'm ready. Come on, narrator. I'm happy you're back. I kind of missed you a little bit, you know? You do ramble sometimes. I think it's intentional, you know? It's intentional. Let's do this, man.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever the Stanley Parable 2.
What?
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Oh. Okay. This
Calling
looks
it the
great.
Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
It's a 2. Okay. The color red, leverage holistic value. Oh, that's so cool. It's like potential art for the title. I like that. What do they call those? Like thumbnails or something? Not thumbnails. They're like Original sketches.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Alrighty. New features. Oh, don't make me walk the ropes, man.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Like jumping? Can I jump? Merch? I wonder if that QR code works. That'd be funny. Reassurance bucket? New feature. New screenshots? That's new. What is that? Epilogue? There's so much here. What do I do? Hear your name in the game?
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim.
I was already
sleeping and
Stanley.
waking as Jim. Falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into...
Jim.
Whoa, hold on. I wasn't finished setting up the backstory. If
Sorry.
you don't properly roleplay as Jim, then you'll never understand the impact of this button. Otherwise, it's just a stupid button that says somebody else's name. Okay, we're doing it again, and this time let me finish first. Now, allow yourself to become Jim. Imagine yourself driving to work as Jim. All right, fine, whatever. It's just a meaningless button that says Jim. Are you happy now? Get out of here. I'm done with this button. Why don't you go humiliate me in front of a different feature that I worked very hard on?
Jim.
See, if you'd only played along, that would have been your name the button says, but no. Instead, I can't even think about it. I'm taking the Jim button away.
No.
Jim.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to everyone. I'm truly sorry. I don't know why that was
Maybe
so
I'll
funny.
only let people named Jim play the Stanley Parable 2. They would appreciate what I've created here.
He's not gonna let this Jim thing go, is he? Jump circle, infinite hole, and the bottom that says the name of the button that says the name of the player playing the game. I want to see this reassurance bucket. Actually, I don't know if I can actually go up there. I can.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket.
You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
Give me the bucket.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
I'm taking the bucket. I now have a bucket.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award. Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Happy... No.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy 12th birthday, step-niece, it is.
Step-niece? What? I liked the Get Well Someday balloon. That's dumb. No. It's all no.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
Oh. Free new easy achievement. Get it here. Hold the lever, receive your new achievement. No more steps. It just works. That seems dangerous. I'm down in a basement.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that. Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
I'm out. That was lame. You took me into a basement to let me pull a lever that doesn't even work.
What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
The exit? That's a good one. I guess jumping in circles is the only other one. You are here. That's kind of nice.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Am I getting closer? I'm just walking. I feel like I'm getting closer. Can I put it in my bucket? Oh, this is so creepy. Wow. Why do I feel like I just witnessed a wee character being born.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic. You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle?
Yes.
Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece, then.
What? I knew I should have saved that one. I knew it. Now what? Did I go this way? I don't think I've been this way. I came out of that door. I just have a bucket. I kind of like the bucket. I'm gonna keep it. Okay.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Why would I want to do that? I don't feel the need to do... Can I throw my bucket in there? Throw it. Throw it.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
What happens if I just keep...
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
Uh-huh. It's kind of nice and peaceful in here, though, you know?
Okay, Stanley. I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole.
What?
Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem.
What? That's so rude.
Look, things got a little heated there.
You
I think?
think?
We both said some things we didn't mean.
I barely
Why
said
don't we
anything.
just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite.
It is not
If that works for
mostly
you,
infinite. No.
then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready. Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
So rude. I can't believe you snapped at me like that. I don't know if I can work with this person any longer. I'm gonna save Stanley, get him out of here. Narrator's being mean. Haven't I seen everything? Maybe not. I did the fake achievement. I did the collectible. I did the jump circle. I did the infinite hole. I have not done the exit yet. I did the bucket. I have the bucket. I did whatever this is. I did gym. The button that says gym. We did that. What is this? Did I do this?
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Oh, alright. Alright. I think I've done everything. Setting world champion, mostly infinite hole, and free achievement. Okay, I guess this is the thing I haven't done. Just throw my bucket at it. Okay, where's the exit? Exit. Think I'm done. Think I'm emotionally done. I'm done, man. We're gonna head out now.
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to?
Yeah,
Ready
that's
to
why
move
we-
on now?
Why is there a random briefcase right there? New mug. No screenshots.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready?
I'm as
Here
ready
it
as I'll
is.
ever be.
I give you the Stanley Parable 2. Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement.
Yeah, that would probably.
Okay, yes, this is much better. I
Yes.
feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2.
Yes. Carpet though.
Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything.
No.
I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2." Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Okay. Is this actually... Oh, I'm so confused.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
Dumb balloons.
Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month
I'm glad I don't
of
have any
every
dumb
year.
balloons in my office.
And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow.
Correct.
No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Oh, I forgot this is my part.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley picked up the bucket.
I now have a bucket. I'm happy with my bucket.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
I'm gonna do what he tells me to for now. I'm so curious to see what happens.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy? It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh, no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments.
Gosh.
Expand on the wide variety. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Ugh. I should have tried the new skip button.
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Right. Right. Okay, well I can't open that door. I swear I could open that at one point. I should have gone through. Oh well.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck.
Sure
Was
did.
it the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
For sure.
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini stands? Stanley figs? Or What about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that.
No.
Another Stanlerine under your belt.
That's terrible. Why would you say that? Stanlerine.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting
wonder if I could
towards
have
an
got up.
unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this
You know I've done
darkest
this
moment
before,
of
right?
uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
You know I've done this without... I can go back up? Maybe later.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
I don't know. I wanted to escape, but I forgot that was an option. Okay, I'm just gonna do it.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
Well. Oh well.
The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
It's gonna be okay. I have the bucket, which means at least we're gonna do it together. Oh, we're moving. Great. Oh.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
Oof.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws.
What?
In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end, as it was crushed violently to death.
What?
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
Aww, there's an obituary for the bucket? No way. Oh, it's a grand exhibit? You are standing at the precipice of knowledge. Much like a bucket itself, the human mind is frequently empty within a cavernous void. But through use of the exhibit in front of you, the mind becomes full and enriched and substantiated. Knowledge of the bucket and its history is the only true knowledge we really have. Will you take what you learn here out with you into the world? Will you accept with an open mind what may be challenging about the information in this exhibit? Will you change the lives of yourself and your loved ones as a result of this exhibit? Or will you turn a blind eye and continue to live as you were in ignorance and darkness? Probably darkness.
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
What? A photograph of 25 buckets, the greatest number of buckets ever captured on camera. The photographer experienced catatonic shock for several weeks as a result of the euphoria from exposure to the many buckets at once. This is more than 25. Like, I'm just saying. Inferno bucket, a replica of the Inferno bucket, which in the medieval era was so powerfully alluring that it drove dozens of nations to war with one another for control of it. Billions died, and yet in spite of it all, the simple fact remains: no one can control a bucket. What is going on right now? The stress bucket? Okay. This is very confusing. The life of a bucket. Cave drawing. Well, we know the bucket predates the existence. My brain, for whatever reason, read that like 4 different ways. Of mankind. We do not know how long. This cave drawing depicts early man's discovery of the practical uses of the bucket, by which time the bucket had already likely been around for several millennia. Notice in these drawings how the bucket is allowing itself to be used, having judged humanity to be worthy of its treasure. Of its treasury.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
The hanging bucket. This piece symbolizes the necessary relationship between bucket and humanity. However clear our grasp of the bucket may be, there is yet more that is always out of reach. This distance inevitably is for our own good. Oh my gosh, is this the never-ending... I touched the bucket.
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong.
What's that?
Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision.
Oof. Oof. What a tragic end. Okay. I've been recording for several hours now. I would love to revisit this if anybody wants more content or to see more of this. I'm sure that there are almost endless amounts of ways to continue the story or have different narration. I've had so much fun playing this. Thank you everybody so much for joining me on this adventure. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. And if you want to see more, please let me know in the comments so that way I can record another video of this. I had so much fun doing this. I love the Stanley Parable. I am now a firm believer in it. And can't wait to see more content if there is a Stanley Parable 2 or if they do create more games with the same concept. So thank you everybody so much for joining me on this adventure, and I'll catch you in the next video. Later everybody.